help you.
Jonathan, please. I can't rely on anyone else. And this concerns you, is it?
In what way? Please, then.
Sean Hampton, the man with...
So Hampton became...
Exactly.
Well, they are not far wrong. The hospital...
McCullum is a fanatic.
Very well, since I... If you don't mind...
I'd be delighted.
Who was that man in your office?
Geoffrey McCullum, actual leader of the Guard of Priwen. I suspect he's the man behind the rebirth of this...
What do they hope to achieve?
Their ultimate goal is the eradication of all vampires in the country. They see you as a threat to mankind, Jonathan.
They know I'm here now, don't they?
I understand your need for blood and will not get in your way. But if you could refrain from feeding within these walls, it would go a long way to defending your case.
What exactly happened here while I was absent?
Hampton turned, quite violently as it happened.
Are you sure it was Hampton that killed Miss Jones?
There was blood everywhere.
How did the Guard of Priwen come to hear of this?
McCullum has spied.
I just recently met the strangest creature in Whitechapel. He was immense. He mocked me and accused me of hypocrisy.
Perhaps it was a skull.
It was a vampire, all right. But what kind, I'm not sure.
If you find anything more about this creature...
He was observing me with the obvious intent to do me harm.
You need to be careful, Jonathan. You've no idea what this creature really is.
I recently tried to enter...
The Brotherhood's research on the matter...
It's hard to explain...
I'm sure...
Is this...
The
Thank you, Edgar. Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
I'm quite busy right now.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Nothing like this would have happened if we'd had enough staff and proper shifts.
So you don't think the blame is ours?
We all hold fast here, Dr. Reed. Our methods
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention.
Thank you for your time.
I have wasted too much energy for so little.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical...
I will be fine.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No, I was...
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of...
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration...
Goodbye. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
What can you tell me?
Everybody's afraid.
As a nurse at this hospital, it is...
Yeah.
Do you need med...
I'm fine.
Goodbye. What on earth happened here?
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman.
Would you care to partake in this meal with me?
Jonathan,
Forgive me if I feel despondent. But
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols, or trying to enter religious buildings.
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But
Aren't you frightened?
ve-
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
what more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club.
Have you embraced this?
Her name was Amelia.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of
Yes, Jonathan.
temptation surround?
Over the years,
Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Do you need my...
I would have been confused.
There is no shame in helping each other. We're colleagues, after all.
Many doctors I have known are too cynical to think that way.
Can you tell me anything about the recent commotion in the hospital?
I'm sure it was not your fault, Dr. Reed.
My fault? What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. It's just... I heard it was you who brought the murderer inside our walls. But you couldn't know, could you?
Goodbye, Dr.
I'm quite busy.
What can you tell me?
Nothing like this would...
So you don't think the blame is ours?
We all hold fast.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Good evening, Mr.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Please, tell me about the recent...
I heard Miss Jones call for help from her bedroom. There were some loud noises, like people fighting. All of a sudden, it went quiet. And then a nurse started screaming.
Do you know who the nurse was?
Not sure, but I think it was Nurse Hawkins.
Is there anything else?
Really? Why is not...
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Goodbye for...
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Doc.
I'm all right.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
It's a disgrace. How on earth can patients be attacked?
Do you require
I have other concerns.
Goodbye.
You always knew...
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm a...
What can you tell me?
I heard shouting coming from the first...
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I'm...
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
How
So painful,
I have to go now, sir.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
We are horrific liars.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news?
Can you tell me anything about the recent commotion in the hospital?
It's a tragedy, pure and simple.
Do you think I should not have brought Mr. Hampton back here?
It's not your fault.
Do you need any medical assistance?
Yes, indeed.
I have no doubt about it, but you are still ill all the same. Please, take this medicine.
I appreciate your concern, Dr. Reed. To be honest, I just did not take the time to diagnose myself.
Goodbye.
Good evening, Doctor.
What can you tell me?
Someone killed Miss Jones in her room.
You don't seem shocked by any...
Why should I be?
I'd like to...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Shit!
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah.
What can you tell me?
Things ain't that bad.
Well, you're not doing a very good...
Yeah, well, we can't be...
More efficient.
Incredible.
Are you some kind of
Something like that.
So, tell me about your...
What? Have you...
Well, yes.
Oi! I'm the boss.
So you're a concerned criminal.
Using... I could kill you.
Goodbye. Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I don't have any money for you leeches.
I'm not here...
Miss Edwina...
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
I'm not
Fair enough.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed.
What can you tell me?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region...
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot.
Looting corpses.
Whatever.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife, and his name means something around here.
Are you aware of what happened to him?
Yes. I'm sure he fought till the end and looked death in the eyes. The boys will mourn.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless.
Can I see what you have to sell?
As long as you have money. Foolish girl and her pretty principles. She's got no idea who she's dealing with.
This is despicable.
Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new faces round here.
Mark my words, miss.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You'd best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth, claws, murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady. Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed...
And what do you define as a strange event?
My name is Ichabod...
A vampire hunter?
I know what you're thinking.
Mr. Throgmorton.
A man of...
I'm looking for Maybe...
Tell you...
All... Have you heard of...
Of course.
So you hunt alone?
Vampire?
Were you ever tempted to join?
I did think about it.
So...
I patrol late at night.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures?
Of course I have.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes.
Are you asking me to pay?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did...
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened?
It's impossible.
But it's my...
Goodbye. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks?
You remember me then?
Of course I do.
Thank you for your hospitality.
I'm still...
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital.
I believe he...
I bet you're right. Sean Carr...
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad...
The important... Where is it?
It's...
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by...
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Or something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the...
Goodbye.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
So few clients.
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll... We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the dock.
So this...
Yeah.
Your boss...
Yeah.
What can you...
People, this is a...
If you're on...
I got...
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish. Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize?
Don't take it personal.
Yes, you had definitely... I'm looking... Who... Surely you...
Sure.
Do you really
No.
Sounds like...
No.
Inebriation aside...
Yes.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake, too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
What do you do? Why do you drink?
Maybe it's
You sound...
I speak a...
Don't... Is there...
How dare...
Why are you so... No reason... All right. Go on. What kind of tragedy? You lost...
I've lost everything.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just...
Is there anything...
How dare you?
No...
Let me tell...
Another time. Goodbye.
I live long enough to see them Woodbury boys get what's coming to them. I think I'm losing my mind. I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
Damn it. I think drink no longer stirs me.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one.
Seems like the Guard of Priya is on Sean Hampton's trail, too.
It's not like that, do ya? Murdering bastard! Eat this!
The wounds on this corpse are deep. The result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast. This poor man has just been slaughtered by a vampire. The body's still warm.
No civilians allowed, sir.
I can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked, all right. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks? Not fishy at all.
And what about you? Working outside?
You want to know my secret?
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum,
He was a patient of mine at the...
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a discreet and dedicated man. I'm sure you'll find him soon enough.
What can you tell me?
It may be okay for a strong...
Which local...
Well,
I am not...
Glad to hear...
You really think...
No.
Is it not dangerous to work here at night?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble.
What can you tell me about the Sad Saint?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton, the sad saint of the East End. He gave me shelter, And he's not always sad.
Are you homeless, Miss Paxton?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place for me and my...
Goodbye.
Come now, Lottie. There is still much work to do.
Why the long face, Doctor?
It looks like we both have changed a lot. I must confess, it saddens me, Sean.
Put your faith in the Lord, Doctor. He has a plan for all of us. We may not always see it, but he does.
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was a...
People have been
Have a little faith, Doctor.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you...
Very well. You have definitely intrigued me.
I'll be here when you... It's in the pits, where the city is darkest. The place you'll find your light. We shall have a good chat later, Dr. Reed.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
This Seymour worries
Best turn around if I were you. Oi! You listening? Steady, boys! We got one.
It's locked. So that's it. These wheels control the water level. That gate should shut properly now. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. I cannot enter.
These maggots have escaped the wrath of Ascalon for too long. It is time to purge the sewers of their filth.
You again! The one they call the sewer dog.
Hold your tongue, newborn, or I'll crush you like a maggot.
You've let the beast consume you.
Finally! A touch of lucidity. Learn to respect the the Lords of Ascalon! It's you first on slaughtering these skulls while singing your name!
At least one Skal escaped Fergal's wrath.
Safe we are, still. Drink now.
Bless you, Bridget.
This isn't the blood of a vampire, but it will quench your thirst. This is our domain, not yours. You've been warned.
Wait, I saved you from this creature. That must count for something.
Thank you. Now go. Go back to the streets and houses. There is no love lost between us, vampire. But thank you.
Sean Hampton sent me here. I believe he wanted me to find you. Who are you?
If you must know, they call me Old Bridget. And this shelter is where we live. I shall not bend a knee, young Ekon. But I sense your pain. Ask, and I will afford you my attention.
Why was that creature after you?
Fergal is the blunt instrument of the Ascalon Club. His masters would see us dead or turned into slaves, if they had their way.
What of this Ascalon Club?
Vampire Society's elite in the Empire. They make the rules and enforce their judgment upon us whom they see as lessers.
What the hell was that thing? He wasn't an Ekon or a Skal.
They are known as Volkod, an ancient offshoot of Immortals. Blood drives them.
So is it you that Sean Hampton sent me to find?
Perhaps. The sad saint was always kind to us.
Sean is a Skal. All those I've encountered have been violent, crazed creatures. How can he be any different?
Maybe because he is the sad saint.
Sean killed a patient of mine. And that's just one of the murders he's being hunted for.
If you refer to Harriet, she is now among us and under our protection.
Harriet Jones is alive. That's it. That's the proof Sean wanted me to find.
No. Harriet is not alive. But you can...
I don't understand.
She is filled with bile.
Thank you.
Keep your distance, Ekon! Oh, Bridget allowed me to wander above some years back. It was unpleasant.
Hello, Harriet. Do you recognize me?
Yeah.
I've so many questions I need to...
I love
I have a question of the
questions.
Do you remember what you did after leaving the hospital? Did you kill anyone?
First, a question from me.
Very well, then. What do you want to know?
Are you like me?
We are not dead, Harriet. Death no longer pertains to us. We are...
I like what I am. I truly...
I know you fled the...
I will...
You sought... Shadow. And what questions about...
Nothing. Let me rest now.
Have you found the answer?
There is to... Why do you live here?
Live.
What are you...
From the guilt.
Why don't...
We...